All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday, man. It's almost Friday, man. Y'all know it's coming for Friday. Again, fine time. I want to say thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. Thank you guys. My birthday was yesterday. Thank you guys for the birthday wish. Now, I want to talk about something. After what has been seen, which when I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about the Los Angeles Clippers, and I'm thinking like, where do they go from here? What steps should the Los Angeles Clippers as an organization, what should be the next steps? The number one thing, in my opinion, the first thing you got to do, take care of Kawhi Leonard. That's goal number one. I'm quite sure that's goal number one for them. You got to take care of him. I don't think I think you got to be delicate in your approach. You can't approach him like, hey man, we need you. You know, you got to carry the team. No. He don't have to do that. Just let him know you're the tipping point. You're the exclamation mark. With you, we're champions. That's it. That's all you have to do, and all you have to do to get him to understand that, hey, we're not telling you to come in and carry your team to a finals or carry them to a championship. We're saying you're that exclamation point that will get us to a championship. So you sell them on that. You got a team that's ready to. Let's be honest. The Clippers with Kawhi is a championship contending team. Hell, they're almost a championship contending team without Kawhi. So add a Kawhi Leonard in there, you got a championship contending team. So that's the first thing I think they have to do. They have to figure out Kawhi Leonard. But you got to approach him in a situation like, hey, is there any issues? Take the media out of it. Take all the Kawhi ain't happy with it. We don't know that. That's reported. But hell, a lot of stuff get reported. That don't make it true. So the first thing you do is you go to Kawhi. Hey, you good? Like, is it something you have an issue with a medical staff? Go to a medical person. Hey, Kawhi, I have an issue with you. You gone. If you're a Clipper, that's what you're doing. This, you got to think about this organization is right on that cusp, man. Right on that cusp of being of being a championship organization. They never won one, but I think they got their best chance right now, for the future. You know, you got Paul George there long term. You got a group of young guys, man. And Terrence, man, I'm a big fan of Terrence, man. I won't say young guy, but you got some core pieces in Reggie Jackson. Hopefully he come back next year for Clippers' sake. But it seems like you got what you need. You got the right coach. Let me just say that right now. You got the right coach. All right, Ty Lue. You might want to extend him. Hey, you want another 5 years on that deal? I'm just joking, but you got the right coach. You got the right guys. It's all about Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. That's the difference. That's the difference with them being in the finals. And I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not taking nothing away from Phoenix, but you give me Kawhi Leonard and give a healthy Kawhi Leonard, I think they took that serious. I'm just be honest. I ain't no sense of faking or flogging or nothing like that. You give them Kawhi Leonard and they're in the finals. That's my opinion. Now, I will say this. You got to go back. The Clippers gonna have to revisit load management. You're gonna have to revisit it, right? Kawhi, to his credit, man, you know, his whole career has been about load management. You know, and this year he kind of got out of that. It wasn't really much load management. He had some games off, but it wasn't load management like we're used to seeing. And he stepped up. I thought this was his most vocal, his most present, and his most played. I can't remember his beginning time in San Antonio, but his most played season in a long time. He done everything right. He just got hurt at the end. So as a Clipper organization, you got to go, now do we need to load manage him? Because you need him in the playoffs. But the injury that he suffered, the knee injury, you don't know how much of it's gonna be. And he's always had those little injuries, right? But he's not a person that's going to be rushed to playing. So if you're not, he's your guy. I don't see. I said in the previous video, I don't see him leaving. I gave him a 3% chance of leaving. I don't see him leaving. He's your guy. The Clippers and Kawhi Leonard are like they gotta be married, right? So the Clippers gonna be a March with Kawhi. If Kawhi says, "Hey man, I can only play this many games," the thing about it is that becomes an interesting dynamic because we seen last year it became a problem with other players, i.e. Montrez, Lou, they all gone. I thought Patrick Beverly was in that problem. You know, he was like the last of the Mohicans to remain. But you're gonna have to visit in some way with Kawhi, or else you might not be able to keep him. But I don't think he's going nowhere. Next, the next thing the Clippers got to do is they got to look at their core. You got some of these guys you might want to bring back. You know, Kennard, Batum. You got to remember you're gonna get a healthy Serge Ibaka. He's on a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. So you get a healthy Serge Ibaka next year. The Clippers are in a great situation. You just missed your star, so you got to find out how to manage him. You got your coach. You got everything in place. And lastly, I want to say I think Paul George stock elevated. His stock elevated in this series. He had the big performance. He got him the dub over Utah. They almost pulled through. I just think that I think as a team they kind of ran out of gas at the end. I said this in the previous video. You know, it's been an uphill battle. They keep digging themselves in this hole. They keep climbing out. And I think ultimately they were done. They just too expent to move forward. To get past Phoenix. They were done. It was like they kept climbing out of these holes that I think it mentally and physically wore them out. And then Paul George played a lot of minutes, so I'm not down on Paul George. He didn't have the best game last night, but they fought. You got a new coach in that have obviously established a culture there fast, right? Like you know what you're gonna get with Tyloo. Tyloo is not a no nonsense. You see that. He got the amazing ability to adjust. He's not afraid of pulling someone out of the lineup, putting someone else in the lineup. It's about winning. I just think that the only thing that the Clippers got to do this offseason and be honest, honestly, it just lock up Kawhi. That's it. That's it. All the Clippers got to do is just lock up Kawhi Leonard and call it a day. Congratulations. That's all they got to do, and they'll be right back in that hunt next year. I don't see much more they really need to do, man. That's all I got for that, man. That's steps I can see. The only thing that can go crazy here is if Kawhi leave. So, with that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, you guys be good.